a stay-at-home dad, watching Disney movies he never had. His daughter digs through all the VHS, crushing the classics in a princess dress. Informed like Scuttle, Kurt's got your ticket, making it real like Jiminy Cricket. Most are off the Captain Hook, but if the Tweedledum, he'll be taking more shots than Bambi's mom. Leaves him raised like Simba, or cracked like the beast dishes. He'll show you a whole new world, you won't need 3 wishes. Stay at home, Disney Dad.
All right, it's the final week for Horse July, and I'm excited for this. Let's press play. Feature presentation, scrolling blue logo like it should be. Wild hearts can't be broken. It's the story of a young girl who dared to follow her dreams, as young girls do. We start with a VO. All anyone talked about back then was the Great Depression and how the good times were just around the corner. Well, this young lady is determined to find those good times. I like her already. Sonora. This is Sonora. Sonora, she's a sassy young lady. She cuts her hair, and Mom wants her to wear a paper bag on her head now because she looks like a boy. Awesome. Crazy out of the gates. I love it. Okay. She meets up with her horse, Lightning. Is that right? And the other kids show up and make fun of her. I love how movies, across the board, Disney or not, just completely get bullying wrong. So here we have Sonora. Lead actress is super pretty. I'm sorry, she would be popular. Because popularity in high school is like 70% looks and 30% money, unless you're an athlete. And you know what? It doesn't matter. Anyway, the ugly bullies bully the hot girl, and they bet her that she can't jump the fence in her horse. But the horse tries to jump the fence because she takes the bet, but it breaks the fence, and the cows get out, and then she's late for school after she gets the cows back, and she gets detention. She's sitting down, one of the bullies goes, moo, and Sonora spins the bully around and punches her in the face like the WWE. Amazing. Teacher tries to physically remove her, but she can't. She just holds onto her desk. So she tells the rest of the class to all ignore Sonora for a week. I think she's living with her aunt, and now her aunt is selling her horse and says to Sonora, "You've been nothing but trouble since your mommy and daddy died." What a line. Thanks for understanding. The aunt now wants to turn her over to the state. She's like, "You're gonna kick me and my brother out?" Aunt says, "No, just you." Oh, she's gonna take her horse and run away tonight and cross paths with Connor Strong from Flash as he stole his horse and ran away. Could you imagine if those intersect? He'll be all, "Look at you, girl. You're a charismatic 10 with quick wit and can throw a punch. Well, I'll bet them kids at school make fun of you." We cut to a town fair. Well, she ran away, not with the horse, but she ran away like I predicted. She's in the fair, and a couple men are fighting, and everyone jumps this one guy, accusing him of cheating at poker with aces hidden in his hat. They search his hat after Sonora picks it up and hands it to him, and no aces. She helps his hot dog vendor after he burns himself. She spits on his burn and he says, "I've never had a girl spit on me before." And this is so topical right now. Like, amazing, right? Lines up. He gives her a free hot dog, though, and says, this job is only temporary until his own show takes off. Today, he would be a Starbucks employee. Then she sees a dive girl. Wikipedia says, a diving horse is an attraction that was popular in North America in the mid-1800s, in which a horse would dive into a pool of water, sometimes from as high as 60 feet. In 1931, Sonora and her horse Red Lips lost their balance on the platform. Sonora survived the fall, but was blinded due to detached retinas in both eyes as a result of keeping her eyes open. She continued horse diving while blind. A film based on her life, Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken, was released in 1991 and based off her memoir, A Girl and Five Brave Horses. Whoops! Spoiler, let's go back to the movie. She strolls in this tent and is like, "I'm your new dive girl," to the ringmaster. And he says, "No, you're not." And they have words, and he tells her that a diving girl has to be strong and brave. And then he walks over to a picture of a grown woman, and he points at this woman's breasts and says, "You need more. Well, you need more. Well, you don't have enough of Then he just kicks her out. Ouch, right in the teenage female self-esteem. Undeterred, she goes over and she talks to another guy named Al who works there, and she's like, "I was just hired and you're supposed to show me how to dive." Oh, it's the guy who was accused of cheating at poker with aces in his hat. And she gives him an ace because she took it out of his hat before they searched the hat, and she gave it back to them, saving Al from a beating from that mob like 20 minutes ago. And he is not appreciative, all things considered. He tells her to go back to where she came from and that she doesn't want to do this, but she just won't go away. And the boss is eventually warming up to her because she just won't go away. There's a lesson in there somewhere. He asks if she could shovel manure, and she goes, "Manure is my specialty." Between that and the Hawk 2 line about spitting on dudes, this writer is slipping a lot of stuff under the radar in this one. She starts touring with the carnival now. Al brings home a wild horse and tells her, "You know, if you rode up in this, that ringmaster circus owner Willie Nelson looking guy might make you a diving girl after all. Let's start practicing tomorrow." I'm pretty sure Al wants to practice diving on Sonora. But that's gonna get me another buzzer. The next morning they try breaking the wild horse and she names it Lightning. When Al was a little boy, he wanted to be a showman just like his dad, the circus owner ringmaster Willie Nelson guy. Then he looks off into the distance and whispers, "But not anymore, not anymore." She tells him she wants to go to Atlantic City. She says the horse is doing good, and he says, "So are you." And you can just cut the sexual tension with a horse knife. Honestly, what's with all these horny horse movies? Sonora is now enamored with the main horse diving girl. She shows up to the kitchen table all gussied up like Sonora does. Is this a family? I'm so confused. Is the ringmaster, is he romantically involved with the main horse diving woman, and Al is the old guy's son? But that is not his mom. That afternoon, Al takes Sonora skinny dipping and they make out in the water, and that escalated. Al comes back home dehydrated and looking for some old-timey Gatorade, whatever they drank back in the 30s to replace electrolytes. Oh, it's milk. Okay, he's drinking milk, and his prospector dad is like, "Watch yourself. She's young." And that's sound fatherly advice. Al doesn't want to hear it though, and he slams the fridge door and stomps away mad in his unitard, milk in hand. The next day, Sonora and senior diving gal are riding horses, and she's riding the hostile one, and the old man Willie Nelson says, "Okay, show me what you got." First try, first test, she tries jumping on the horse as it goes by, which is like 100% of being a diving girl, I guess, but she doesn't get all on the horse, and she falls off on her face. So far, so good. But now we get a character flip. She's got a busted nose, and she's like, "I don't know if I can do this." And the old man is like, "Get back on, try again." Al's like, "She's had enough, old man." Prospector's like, "You gotta earn it." And she gets back on and falls off again and again. The old man is like, "Oh, are you gonna cry? Are you gonna cry?" Wow, this guy is like my dad and my mom. Sonora gets back up and keeps trying and eventually gets it. Al is not impressed. "You pushed her too hard, Dad. She didn't quit." And Al's like, "What? Didn't quit? Didn't quit like me? Like Mom?" He calls his dad a stupid old man, and Prospector turns and punches Al in the face. Al punches back. Sonora could kick both these guys' asses, but we go to the next scene, and Al is angry and pouty and got boo-boo face, and he's packing up his stuff and leaving because the old man, all he cares about is his stupid show. He walks off, and Sonora is left hugging herself in sad girl pose and goes, "Write me." Oh, sweetheart, he ain't writing you, but he does write her. But Dad intercepts all the mail, so Sonora thinks Al never wrote her at all. Prospector and diving girl continue to train. Sonora, main diving girl, falls off the horse and she dislocates her shoulder and she's screaming, and Prospector comes out of the room where she's screaming, and he says to Sonora, "She always wanted to be an actress." Oh, so unnecessary. They have a show in 3 days, so Sonora was just promoted to lead diver. She's pretending she's not nervous. The hot dog boy was also promoted. He's now like her assistant. She tries on a bathing suit and says, "It doesn't fit." And the old man says, "You'll grow into it." She says, "What if it falls off after the dive?" He looks at her and goes, "Well, we'll give refunds." Take that, body-conscious teenage girl. Damn. That is not right. It's time to go. She's climbing the ladder and the horse is being led up the ramp. This looks high. Dramatic music. Love this. The music is doing a lot of the heavy lifting in this movie. The horse runs by. She grabs and jumps on. She does it perfectly. And with the horse with her on, they dive off the perch into the water 60 feet below. Perfectly. She gets out and she's posing seductively and just gets too wrapped up. And the prospector starts coming to pull her away from the cheering crowd. Uh-oh. Broken Down Marie. That's the name of the main diving girl with a dislocated shoulder. She's jealous now. "Sonora is not going to be on the poster, and I'm the star." And Marie storms away after not getting her own dressing room like she demanded, nor a raise as she demanded, nor her face on the posters as she demanded. Touring circus montage, 2 or 3 shows a day. Al sees the poster from far away with Sonora, like from a different town. He's like, Sonora is sad because Al promised he'd write her, and the prospector flashes back to all the dozens and hundreds of letters he's been burning as he intercepts. The horse is sick now. and she has to use a payphone in the rain. She's sleeping next to the sick horse when Al shows up. I'm back. The horse has been eating moldy hay. The horse is not... No, the horse, yeah. Not Al. The horse has been eating moldy hay. They get some water and oil, get the horse to his feet. They MacGyver like a pulley system to get Lightning up and walking around. Then I guess he poops it out. They're walking Lightning around when Dad and Wiener Boy show back up. Al is back in Dad's good books now, and Wiener Boy is back in the friend zone. Al says he thought Dad could use some help with the show. Prospector Dad says, there ain't no show. Broken collarbone. He asks Sonora, did you get my letters? I wrote every day. She goes, no. What did you say? And this poet, this romantic wordsmith says, I said stuff. Now suddenly another circus mailed them a 6-month contract offer. Al set it up and Dad is proud of Al. As they drive to the first town, Old Man is trying to spill the beans about burning all of Al's letters, but he just can't admit it. Al is now pimped out in a white suit and says, Dad, when we get to Atlantic City, I'm gonna get you a new suit. And the old man goes, double-breasted? What's with this old guy and breasts? I mean, what's with any guy and breasts? I guess. Let's move on. It's getting hot. Old Man leans against the tree and watches as the wind blows one of those puffy dandelion things away in slow motion. That's symbolism, because he's f***ing dead. At the funeral, Al and Sonora are like, now the show is split 50-50. And Wiener Boy's like, you mean 33? No, my little Wiener friend. No, they don't. The show must go on, and they go to the next town, and they get top billing. Sonora sees her name and picture up on the main billboard. Alice practicing his ladies and gentlemen introduction now that Dad's dead. He wants to introduce the act, and Wiener Boy dunks on him in front of Sonora because he sucks at it. Sonora is now wearing puffy pants, a black tank top, and a chef's hat. You know, the proper attire for a carnival horse diver. She found some of the notes that the old guy had hid that Al wrote her, and she reads one, and he just wrote that he loves her over and over. And at Old Man, she gives Al Old Man's Macho Man jacket. He says she should wear it to introduce her. He puts on the jacket, and Sonora's like, that's the look, and they make out hard. I'm talking deep tongue as Wiener Boy kicks rocks. It's showtime. The new horse is jittery, but Lightning isn't well enough to do it yet. She starts climbing, and Al, in his Macho Man jacket, asks her to marry him over the loudspeaker. She's climbing the ladder. She pops back down. The crowd is chanting, yes, yes, like Daniel Bryanson. And he's like, Miss a little bit, will you marry me? She does. I gotta say, horse diving looks awesome, like for real. At the last second though, she's about to dive. The horse gets spooked and flops off the platform instead of jumps, and they have an awkward landing. They're okay. The crowd cheers, but that's not how it was supposed to go. She's spooked. I think I read about this happening. Clifford is the Wiener Boy. That's his name. She's like, Clifford, is the horse okay? And he's like, yes, what about you? Are you okay? And Al's like, don't you worry about her, Clifford. I'm going to go inspect every inch of her body, and I'll let you know. Poor Clifford. The impact caused a hemorrhage and detached both her retinas. She's blind! I had no idea this was coming. The circus owner is like, you have 1 week to get another girl up there and jump on that horse and jump off that ramp, or I'm going to sue you. What now, Al? Going to get the old horse jumping girl back? Hey, Marie, girl, buddy, pal! Or train Sonora to do it blind, which I guess, yeah. Or to put Clifford in a dress with pigtails and lipstick and send him up there. But no, Clifford is stepping up in his own way. Because he's, in the next scene, he's riding one of those motorbike things in a circle, like where there's multiple motorbikes going in. Okay, those round cages. Sonora continues to go blind, and now that she's blind, Clifford has a chance. She tells Al not to marry her because he has pity for her. She keeps saying that this is only temporary and tries to storm off, but she's blind, so she topples over the kitchen table, and I am 100% going to hell for laughing at that. But I'm sorry, it's funny, and I don't want to pretend it's not. She's just like, you can't marry me! Al calls Marie, and she's back. Poor blind Sonora's in the background of the paparazzi shots of Marie as they take pictures of the returning horse jumper, and they're like, hey, Sonora, can you move out of the background? Now she's motivated. She's like, F that Marie, I'm going to do this blind. Training montage. Once again, great montage music as this blind girl is jumping and landing face down as the horse goes by. He says it over and over, but it's not. I don't know what that means. She's practicing the thunderstorm. That means it's for real. It's go time, and Clifford locks Marie in a shed, then gets Lightning and Sonora to start the climb. I mean, I get it, but poor Marie, she didn't deserve that. She came back to save the show, and now she got locked in a shed. Sonora gets up, and Al is like, Sonora, no! And the carnival guy is like, these people didn't pay good money to come see a blind girl kill herself. And honestly, I hope no one would pay poor money to see a blind girl kill herself, but that's neither here nor there. She's in position in slow-mo. of the horse coming at her, and I'm nervous, for real. Great way to build drama. This is well done. Of course, she does it perfectly. Everyone cheers. They blow the roof off the outdoor stage, and Sonora gets out of the water, hears the cheers, starts blowing kisses and facing the wrong direction as she bows. Al picks her up like she's crossing the threshold, doesn't say anything, and they just start making out. Brave lady. I mean, really, that could have been anyone. She wouldn't know. I'm joking. Well, we go to a voiceover about how she dove for another 11 years, and we slam back in with the credits. Abrupt ending, like, is Maurice still locked in a closet? You're welcome for me coming back and saving the show. I still get paid, right? I'm still going to be on the poster, right? This doesn't count as my own dressing room, right? I guess, yeah, that was based off a true story. We end Horse July with this movie about horse diving, and this quote from Wikipedia. A horse diving show was an in-resident act held at New Jersey's Steel Pier. Pressure from animal rights activists and declining demand led to the act being shuttered in the 1970s. Although there was a brief resumption of the act at the pier in 1993, it was again shut down amid opposition. The horses sometimes dived 4 times a day, 7 days a week. An attempt in 2012 to revive the show at Steel Pier was halted when animal welfare advocates petitioned the owner not to hold the shows. The president of the Humane Society of the United States stated, quote, "This is a merciful end to a colossally stupid idea." And so was Horse July.
That's what I think about.
What do you think?
What we have is a concern about Curtis Anderson. His interviewing style is not the best. His personal appearance is not the best. I was wondering if the man has some kind of a hold over the channel that he's allowed to be employed for so long with the standards of journalism and personal appearance that he has. Thank you.